Okay, so it is Friday, and you know what that means. Another episode of The Bad Batch, another video from me talking about the new episode of The Bad Batch. So, we're going to give my thoughts on it, whether I was right last week with my predictions, and give some more predictions, and just some general stuff like that. So, without further ado, please do subscribe if you are new, and click the notification bell if you haven't already. Leave a like if you enjoy this video. Don't do it before because that's not really the point of liking a video. And yeah, let's get into it. So last week I said that I think this one would be a 10 out of 10 because they spent all of last episode just setting this one up. Now, although I did thoroughly enjoy this episode, it definitely was not a 10 out of 10. I would say it's around like the third, fourth best episode of The Bad Batch. It's definitely not better than episode 1. It's definitely not better than the Cad Bane versus Fennec Shand episode, in my opinion. Those two are first, but it's sitting around the level of, the episode where Crosshair got like his face all blasted, when we first saw Cad Bane, and just a few other episodes that aren't quite up there with the best ones, but are still pretty good. So I did very much enjoy this episode, and my predictions were very wrong because I thought Captain Hauser would end up leaving with the Bad Batch, but no. I did enjoy what he did choose to do, but he didn't join the Bad Batch, and that means that everything I predicted with him going with Echo and then joining the rebellion isn't set to happen, at least yet. But I don't think they're going to abandon Hauser's character because of how interesting he has been in these last two episodes. I don't think they're going to abandon him. I think it would be silly to. They have huge potential with a character there, and I don't think they're going to waste it. But if I were to rate this episode, I would probably give it an 8. Like, it's definitely above average for like the Bad Batch, so it's definitely decent. But yeah, I mentioned on my TikTok that I really want to talk about Crosshair in this episode, so I'm not here to break down the episode, I'm here to give my thoughts. So let's talk Crosshair. He didn't seem as evil in this episode as he has in the previous one, so I have a few theories about inhibitor chips. So based on what we saw with Crosshair, Captain Hauser, and the clones of Hauser's squad that also turned back good, I think that either inhibitor chips become less effective over time, which could lead to why clones were phased out. That would make a lot of sense. Or there is significantly more defective like inhibitor chips than we first thought. So I'm leading towards the first one, to be honest, because I don't think it makes too much sense for there to be so many like defective chips. So Crosshair, like I said, I want to talk about, is especially interesting in this episode because he seems less evil. That doesn't mean he's not evil at all. He's definitely not back to a good guy yet, but when the Bad Batch escaped on Senator Tar's shuttle, Orn Tar is his name. He's also not dead, by the way. But yeah, when they escaped on his shuttle, he seemed to give up trying to shoot them down too early. Like, am I the only one that thinks that? He took about 4 shots and then gave up. He could definitely have shot out their engines, but he stopped. And then he also said he personally wants to hunt down the Bad Batch. Now, whether he wants to do that to join them or not, I can't confirm or deny that, obviously. But I think by the time he does find them, it would have been long enough, if we're going on the route of chips being less effective over time, it would have been long enough for his chip to become even less effective than it is at the moment, and him to redeem himself or like become back good. I think it will happen. I think it's been set up from the start for Crosshair to have a redemption, and then for whatever the finale of the season is, the Bad Batch are all together like they were at the start. And yeah, and think about it, Crosshair's chip was obviously like boosted, but the fact that his chip has been tampered with could essentially mean that it deteriorates quicker. They wouldn't have like tested it, like how quick it deteriorates, because they literally just boosted its effectiveness and got on with it. So I think the speed its effectiveness deteriorates could be increased, and that's why he is becoming his chip is becoming defective so soon for it being boosted, as opposed to the actual like normal clone troopers, should I say, only just starting to become like defective when their chips have been active since Order 66 happened. Crosshair was obviously semi-active at Order 66, then like got tampered with, and then got fully active, and now is deteriorating already. So his, despite being working for a less amount of time, is already showing signs of defectiveness quicker than normal clones that have been effective since Order 66. That was a lot of waffle, but I got there in the end. I think Crosshair is getting somewhere in this series where he's going to be redeemed. I think that's what's going to happen relatively soon. Now, I don't think that's going to happen in the next episode. To be honest, I don't have a clue what will happen in the next episode. Like, I obviously knew somewhat what would happen in this episode because last episode set it up. Like, the Bad Batch come to ryloth because Hera contacted Omega. I predicted that right. They break out Cham and Hera's mum, and all of that happens. But for next episode, anything could happen, to be honest, which is why I'm excited, because I do think they will take the opportunity of leaving this episode so open-ended for something to happen next episode. Like I said, I think they'll take the opportunity and it will be a fantastic episode, so I cannot wait for that. But if I'm going to say one more thing this video, some further predictions for the end of the series is that they either get like a kind of bad ending to their story and they just join the rebellion and that's it. They die at some point between now and Rebels that we don't see. Or what is something that I think was foreshadowed in this episode when it was said some kind of compliment about Clone Force 99, and then it was like, a shame they're not working for us, or something along those lines. I think that foreshadows the Bad Batch to be working for the Empire, so they get captured at some point and made a part of some weird project. There was a very early prediction in the Bad Batch series that someone made that they become the template for the Death Troopers. I think that could be cool, but I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. But I think that was some definite foreshadowing when they said it's a shame they're not working for us, and it's going to be ironic when they do end up working for the Empire, getting some new inhibitor chips implanted, made extremely effective, and or just their DNA is taken from them and they create a lot of enhanced clones and then just kill off the Bad Batch. Or there is a final one, a bunch of Inquisitors and or Vader just come and slaughter the Bad Batch. But I personally think it will be option number 2 out of those 3. So that is my thoughts on Bad Batch episode 12. Let me know what you thought of that episode. Let me know what you thought of this video. Please do subscribe. If you enjoy any of my videos, feel free to check out some others. And yeah, I look forward to getting out a few more. I've got a Q&A coming soon. I've got a news video on Monday, which if I don't post a video about a specific piece of news on Saturday or Sunday, then that news video on Monday will be pretty sad, because there's some stuff that's come out recently that isn't great, and I'm sure some of you know what I'm on about. But yeah, please do leave a like. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.